Ever heard of a duck that looks like it came straight out of a black and white art gallery? Meet the Smew, and yes, that's really its name. Sounds a bit like someone sneezed while naming it. But don't let the name fool you. This little bird is sleek, quiet, and surprisingly cool. Think of it as the James Bond of ducks. Shows up looking sharp, says nothing, and disappears underwater before anyone notices. The Smew, or Mergellus albellus, is a small duck found in the colder parts of Europe and Asia. The male is easy to recognize, mostly white with sharp black patterns, like a snowflake wearing eyeliner. The female looks totally different, grey body with a reddish-brown head. She's sometimes called the red-head Smew. They belong to a group called diving ducks, and once you see them hunt, you'll understand why. While other ducks are paddling around looking confused, the Smew just dives like it's been training for the Olympics. Smews breed in northern forests, places like Scandinavia and Russia. They like to nest in tree holes, not on the ground, in trees. Usually they borrow old woodpecker holes, because building a nest from scratch is overrated. Honestly, it's smart. Why do the work when someone else already did it? In winter, they fly south to places like Germany, Poland, or even China, but only just far enough to find open water. They're not chasing sunshine like seagulls in Thailand. They just want a lake that isn't frozen solid. Smews are pros at underwater fishing. They've got this narrow beak with little teeth-like edges, so when they catch a fish, it's not going anywhere. You'll see one dive, disappear, then pop back up 20 seconds later with a snack. Other birds just look confused. And they're quiet. You won't hear them quack or shout. They kind of mind their own business. You might hear a soft whistle now and then, like they're trying not to wake anyone up. If you're into birdwatching, spotting a Smew is a big deal. They're not super rare, but they're shy. And they blend in. Imagine a white duck on a snowy lake in the fog. Yeah, not easy to spot, so when one finally shows up, birders get pretty excited. Some might even scream quietly. They're like the limited edition collectible of the duck world. You know it exists, you just hope it shows up before the sun sets. So, when it's time to start a family, the Smew doesn't just pick a quiet spot by the water. Nope. She looks for a hole in a tree, preferably one made by a woodpecker because, again, why build when you can borrow? She lines the nest with soft down feathers, lays her eggs and waits. Meanwhile, the male, he quietly leaves, doesn't ghost her, just quietly exits stage left. Typical. When the ducklings hatch, they don't stick around the nest for long. Within a day, they leap out of the tree, literally, fall through the air, bounce, and then waddle off like, okay, what's next? Being a Smew duckling is pretty hardcore. You've just dropped out of a tree, and now you have to keep up with your mum, who's already leading you across cold water and teaching you how to find food. They don't wait around. There's no baby duck kindergarten. It's more like, welcome to life, start swimming. The chicks are fuzzy, grey, and very cute. They learn fast, but they're still vulnerable. Predators, cold, and, well, more cold. By the time winter rolls around, Smews pack up and move south. Not too far, just enough to find lakes and rivers that aren't frozen like a popsicle. They like quiet spots. Calm lakes. No drama. You'll rarely see them in huge flocks. Maybe a small group. They're more introverts than party animals. Most of the time, you'll see them swimming silently, diving for food, and then just chilling. They've pretty much mastered the art of winter survival. Stay low-key, stay warm, and eat well. So here's the big question. Is the Smew in danger? Well, not exactly, but also, kind of. Smews aren't officially endangered, but they're not doing cartwheels either. Their biggest threats are the usual suspects: habitat loss, pollution, and people getting a little too cozy with nature. Since they nest in old trees, cutting down forests is like taking away their homes. And if lakes get polluted, that's like trying to live in a dirty bathtub. Not great for anyone. The good news is, people are starting to help. In some parts of Europe, conservationists have installed nest boxes, kind of like little Airbnbs for ducks. If you're a female Smew looking for a place to lay eggs, these boxes are clean, safe, and rent-free. Also, bird reserves and protected wetlands help give them safe places to winter, without being disturbed by boats, jet skis, or selfie-chasing tourists. Now, here are some Smew facts that nobody asked for, but now you'll never forget. The Smew is the only species in its genus, so it's basically in a class of its own. In flight, they're fast and direct. No loops, no drama, just business. And their name? Smew has been around since at least the 1600s. No one really knows what it means. Maybe it was just the sound someone made when they saw one. So why care about the Smew? It's not loud, it's not flashy. You'll probably never see one unless you're freezing in a hide with binoculars. But here's the thing. Birds like the Smew remind us that nature doesn't always shout. Sometimes, it whispers. It glides quietly across a lake, dives for a fish, and leaves barely a ripple. The Smew doesn't need attention, it just is. And in a noisy, messy world, that's kind of beautiful. So if you ever spot one, consider yourself lucky. You've just seen one of nature's most stylish introverts, living proof that silence, grace, and a good winter coat can go a long way.